in need of men who will be men today.
Hey everybody, this is SP. Welcome to the formula. As you well know, we have Marquis here with me. How are you, Marquis?
What's going on, SP? How you doing, Queen? What's good? What's good? I'm
I'm
excited.
here. I showed up.
Yeah, that's good. That's good news.
Hey, we have our special guest, Rein.
Yo, what up?
Man, it's a pleasure. I've been waiting on this moment for a few months. You was making a record, and then you dropped the record, and then we finally here, and I'm so glad to see you.
Yeah, it's definitely a pleasure to be on the platform. Appreciate you for having me.
I just want you to how about let everybody know where you from and how did that affect who you are as an artist?
Everybody know who follow my music, but for people who don't follow my music yet, I'm from Flint, Michigan, North Side. But I kind of grew up on the North Side as before teenage years, and then later teenage years. When I was a teenager, I grew up in on the South Side, so I got people on both sides of the city. So yep, Midwest. That's where I'm from.
What was it like growing up in Flint?
Oh, that shit was terrible. Nah. You know, as a kid, it wasn't. I didn't think it was bad because everybody was in the same circumstance. So
Yeah,
everybody was poor. So everybody flipping on pissy mattresses and throwing rocks at cars and all that little dirtball stuff, man. You know, little snot nose. So I thought it was normal. You know, I didn't realize that the conditions that we was living in was bad until I was able to like go outside the city and go to other states and other places.
yeah. I was gonna say the same thing. Like, you know, I grew up in that atmosphere, that project, the bricks. You know what I'm saying? They call it the bricks, man. And you know, it might be, you know, the bricks for something might mean something different from, you know, in other cities and other towns. It might be houses, but it might be the same poor conditions.
Yeah.
In the same environment. Like I remember skipping rocks, you know, throwing rocks. Who can throw rocks on the roof? You know, like you said, snotty nose, flipping on mattresses, trying to do flips, trying to impress the girls. You know, when they play jump rope, you try to flirt with them and jump in there with them and stuff. You know, corny stuff.
Yeah.
But like you said, we didn't know we were poor until we either we met somebody in school that was had a little bit more money or something, or like you said, traveled out of that city and town.
Yeah.
So when did you travel? What age were you when you did like kind of learn like, wait a minute, I'm different. What's going on here?
Probably the first like significant thing that I can remember was my dad. He worked for General Motors, so he was able to have a house out in the suburbs. And so when I would go out there, he would have to because him and my mom not together, so he had the big glass front door. We call them white people doors. So he had the glass front door. Mine had the bars on it. So we go out there. I remember being nervous, like, you ain't got no bars on the windows. You ain't got no bars on the front door. Like, somebody could just walk up in here. But that was like one of the first things. And then he ended up taking me and my sister to Disney World for like a week. And when we went there, being in Orlando, you seeing Ferraris and Lamborghinis and Harley Davidsons with like $60,000 paint jobs and all that. You see that, and you're like, okay, it's different. You go to the beach, like, because we go to the beach, and our beach is called Bluebell Beach. It's basically a little dirty swamp. But when you go to the beach in Florida, the water's blue and pretty. So yeah, it's different.
A huge significant difference.
Yeah.
And it was like a wake up call. You was like, wait a minute, like what's going on here? Like,
man. Yeah, that's always tough. We grew up poor, but we grew up in San Antonio. So San Antonio poor is different from like Houston for. I thought the projects was bad here, but I didn't realize it was. We had what we call projects, and then we have real projects. You know, with row houses and no central land heating. We didn't even know that was possible.
Yeah.
So it was a real change in the way I viewed things when I left San Antonio, the city of San Antonio,
Yeah.
and traveled outside of it. I was like, we were poor, but this is poor. It's
Yeah.
po.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
P.O.
Yeah. I can't say that I was like po to the point where like my lights was cut off all the time and it wasn't food in the refrigerator. It wasn't that bad, you know. A couple times that happened, but it wasn't like that was a constant thing in
Consistent,
my
yeah.
life. Yeah, but one of the greatest things was like my mom, man. She went back to school to become a nurse, and when she did that, like probably like 2 paychecks, life changed around. So
Oh yeah.
yeah,
You probably got the good cereal.
got the good cereal, got the Air Jordans. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
So your life growing up, rough, and then eventually coming up a little bit,
yeah.
with more I guess money. Did that reflect on your music? Then and now, like how does your past reflect your music on your music?
Definitely. I talk about the good and the bad, you know. Um, I want to say around like 15, 16 when things like started turning around as far as like the financial situation. Um, so I could talk about the stuff that before that and I could talk about the stuff after that. So, when you like 14, 15, 16 as a black male, that's basically those are the years where if you jump off the porch, you really gonna get into some stuff.
Oh
So I
yeah.
think I think by my mom able to have a better job and stuff and move me out of the heart of the ghetto and go to the south side, I think that's what really stopped me from going down the wrong path. And then she worked so many hours, she didn't have nothing to do with me, so she put me in music. So she put
Oh.
me in like jazz band and music theory. Then I was in a marching band. So
Oh.
that right there um is where kind of like I really started honing my music skill. And plus both my parents was like DJs, like on the weekends and stuff. So my stepdad was a DJ. My mom used to like mess around too. So
Yeah. Oh, that's
I'm
dope.
talking about they would have vinyl records and milk crates all over the place. But she had her own records and he had his own. But she would cut the corners off of hers so she would know like this my Luther Vandross. Don't play this. You can't have that. But yeah.
Yeah, I just
Yeah.
started thinking about it because I was gonna ask you, do you collect vinyl? And you telling me your parents are
Uh,
both DJs.
yeah.
That's that. Do you collect vinyl because of that? And then you do anything
I
special with
go
your vinyl now?
I go to the record store to like mess around and find samples and stuff. Yep.
I like
Yep. And if I find something really dope, if I can't find it on YouTube, or if I do find something on like YouTube or anything, Apple Music, I'll go try to find it on vinyl so I can like put it in the MPC. Yep.
that. That's
Yep.
big.
Yep.
I was gonna
Crazy.
ask more about his parents. I don't know if you want to go there. So your parents were with DJs and stuff like that. Like, so did you ever see them actually perform and DJ at a party? Maybe they did house parties at the
Nah,
house or something.
nah. I remember like being like sleep in the back of the car. They would go get their equipment and stuff like that. And I
Yeah.
remember my stepdad was like super fly. He had like a gray members only jacket. It was like
Yeah.
gray. It might have been leather. I don't know. Gray, and he would have the Stacy Adam boots. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
He had like two herringbone gold chains on and a couple not the Cuban links. He had the other one, the Start with an F. Was it Ferragamo link, something like that?
Probably, yeah. I can't, yeah. I can't
It
remember.
had the big link and the three small ones. The
And
big
the small, yeah, yep. I remember. I know.
Yeah. Had the Jerry Curl, you know what I'm saying?
Jerry Curl.
Got Jerry Curl.
So what instruments did you play?
I started out with something weak. I started with the clarinet because my aunt played the clarinet, so I ain't know nothing about band. And I was like, I want to play the instrument. She's like, so that's what she played. I was like, I played the clarinet. So I played that, and then I realized, like, back then, we grew up at different times, so that wasn't like a male-driven instrument. So I went from that to the trumpet. I played the trumpet for a while, got really dope on that, and then I gravitated towards the snare drum.
Now, do you still play, or like you still kind of mess around with some of these instruments, or what?
Bro, I couldn't play right now to save my life. I still know the notes. I still know, I can still read music. I know
read music. Yeah, I gotta say that. I was gonna,
But that's one of the things. If you don't practice it every day, you'll fall off of it. But I still know what everything is.
So does reading music help with what you're doing now? Does it give you kind of an advantage, especially with the just the musicality of the songs that you pick, the beats that you pick?
I think I wouldn't say like the reading music. I think the music theory helps out more, like melodies, knowing the difference between like a top line and all of that stuff. That stuff is what helps me compose the composition when I'm writing the music. But as far as like the other stuff, nah, because everything is like I do music off of feeling.
Yeah. So describe your music, I guess, journey, because we got your mom's parents put you in band, and you started playing instruments. When did you start really getting into like hip hop? Was it when hip hop came out, or like was it? So did your cousin tell you about it? Your friend, your brother? Like who got you into hip hop, and then you switched over to like a different genre?
Yeah, my older cousin, bro. He was adopted. He was probably one of the flyest dudes on the planet. He would go to New York and like every summer and visit his family. He would come back, and he would come back with like kung fu VHSs and stuff, Five Deadly Venoms and all that. So he was one of the he was super fly, bro. He had the what is the Sherlin? He would come back from there with the Sherlins, and he would come back with the blue jean jacket with the little fur around the collar. So he would come back with that, and the Adidas track suits and the shell toes and all of that. And you know what I'm saying, he would have the Daniel Boone hat with the tail on it. Listen, the 4-finger ring, the rings. So and he had the big boom box, and him and my cousins, they'd be out there with the cardboard break dancing and doing graffiti. So I would watch them and be like, man, these dudes are so fly. Like I want the 40 ounce, man. Like y'all got the 40 ounce of the corner. I don't even know what y'all doing. I want to do this. And, I think one of the first groups he let me hear was Run DMC. I thought Run DMC was dope, but I thought they was yelling too much. Like it was.
Kind of like rock, like more rock, like yelling.
It was, rock this way. I thought it was dope music, but it wasn't. I didn't think it was as dope as what they thought. But when he spun the block and hit me with like LL Cool J, that was it. Fat Boys, LL Cool J. And then that was like when I was doing the movies like Tougher Than Leather and Breaking 1 and 2. Like I would watch those all
B
the
Street,
time.
all that, everything.
Listen. Listen, that was it. So
man,
that's
SP
who introduced me to it.
Man, SP was talking about this on another podcast. He's talking about like the hip hop movies. A lot of them are cheesy, but they're hip hop classics, right? She was talking about this movie called Rapping. I don't think I've seen it. I can't remember if I've seen it. And I was talking about Tougher Than Leather, and he was like, "What's the worst movie that that's still like a hip hop classic that we watch?" So have you ever seen Rapping?
I've seen Rapping. I've only seen like one or two times.
Was Rapping worse than Tougher Than Leather? Or was tougher leather
Awful.
worse?
I think
Come on,
rapping
why
was.
you trying
I
to sway
think
the jury? Get out of
no,
here!
no,
Get
no.
out of here!
I
I,
tried to sway
I
Yes,
the
you
think,
jury.
are. Like, what are you doing?
I think rapping was worse than Tougher Than Leather.
Yeah, okay, that's the one she
Yeah,
said.
yeah.
Rapping was worse than
Because I didn't see it.
because
I don't think I seen it. I don't think I seen rap.
Because the budget for rapping probably was like $500. And
Yeah, Mario
and
Peoples in it
it,
though. What do you get the whole 500?
yeah, he got the whole
I
500.
mean, it had dope actors, but they were horrible rappers.
Yeah. That's like
horrible rappers.
Yeah, you got to YouTube that one or something. I don't even know if you can find that.
I might have to. Now I was looking for it like a week ago or so, and I couldn't find. I think when I did find it, they didn't want me to pay for it. I'm like, I ain't paying for this. Especially because she said it was whack. I'm like, I'm not paying for this, right? So,
but
I'll find it.
It's a good history lesson.
Yeah, you got to go check out our poll. Rapping won by a landslide.
It did. I was like, I'll bring it up one day, man. We gotta keep going. We gotta go because I ain't seen it. I'm still talking trash because when I saw Tough on Leather, man, I was like, what is this? Because I emulated Run DMC. I love Run DMC, and by the time they came out with a hip hop movie, I was thinking it's gonna be pretty good, right? Thinking they got the budget. It's not $500 budget like you said. It's gonna be like a $500. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was terrible too, but
yeah. My music influence was crazy. So at that time it ain't like I was able to go to the mom and pop stores and buy no cassettes or whatever, because I mean I was too little. I ain't had no money. So I would just listen to their old music or listen to their dub over tapes. They would take the radio out. So that's all I would listen to. So it was a gap that music probably progressed, but I was stuck in that. So from listening to I would say LL Cool J, Fat Boys, and stuff like that, and Rakim. I thought Rakim was super dope.
So you got to Rakim before like the gap. Okay.
I was stuck in that. Maybe a little bit of Rob Bass, stuck in that.
Rob Bass, yep, Rob Bass.
And then I basically grew up around my grandma because my mom worked so many hours. My best friend down the street named Trey, he was the first person that introduced me to NWA.
Oh.
When that, listen.
He was a bad boy.
Right. So it went from LL, I Need Love, to Fuck the Police. Like, whoa. Like, y'all can say this on the record?
That was
you can say that?
Yo. Yeah. That was like, it's eye-opening. It's like you said, from the hood to like, being at, you said you didn't say Six Flags, you said Disney World or something like that, right?
Yeah,
so it's just like what? So like when even for me, and I never had that gap because I'm in Boston. So I'm like right there in New York, we right there, we taking trips every week, we whatever. It's in Boston, it's in Boston too, hip hop. So it was part of, me growing up. So, but even when NWA came out for me, it was eye opening. I was like, whatever it was playing, whatever was hot at the time, then I put that tape and I'm like, yo, you know what I'm saying? It was the same shock value. Let's put it down.
And I don't want to advance the story too much. So from NWA, again, I was stuck listening to like NWA and those type of records, right? Because I couldn't go buy the cassettes and nothing. I could only get what I could get. And then I was stuck in that. And then right around the time that METHOD, man, when that came out, I went straight to Wu-Tang. And I was stuck on like Wu-Tang. Wu-Tang. And then now I'm at the age where I can start going to buy my own music or whatever. So I went from Wu-Tang to the Locks to DMX. And that was it. So
yeah. So along the way, what influenced you to actually start putting pen to pad?
It had to be the tail end of listening to like LL Cool J and listening to Method Man.
So did you have rap groups like when you was with your boys and your best friends and stuff? Was you rapping and dancing and doing all that stuff that I know I did that too.
Yeah, I wasn't the greatest dancer. I tried, but I was all right. I was a slow dance king, so I get out there and try to bust the sweat on the set. I would say when I first got into music, I didn't know how to rhyme or nothing like that. So I was into the like I said, I grew up on the music theory and the beats. So I used to listen to like bass tapes, like DJ Magic Mike and stuff like that, that Miami sound and for the 808s and all that. So I used to want to just make beats, but I didn't know how to make them. Nobody would show me. So
Mhm.
listening to like RZA's production and like, dang, so you can sample somebody and speed it up. And I know Kanye get the credit for like doing the sped up samples, but to me, RZA was doing that first. I
Come
thought
on.
RZA was doing it,
Oh, RZA,
and
yeah, RZA. Come on, man.
a
Probably
few
people
other people
before
was
RZA.
doing it.
Yeah, people before
Yeah.
RZA. But yeah, I get
So,
what you're saying.
but RZA
Yeah.
had the awkward kind of style, and
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The
put the
awkward style. Yeah.
he would put the sped up sample in little parts of it. Kanye was the one who made it more soulful. So, yeah, I wanted to make beats, but nobody would teach me. So I used to go to the studio every single day, and the guy I used to sit with, I ain't gonna mention his name, but I used to sit over his shoulder and just look at what buttons he was pushing and just memorize what he was doing. Didn't even know what the screen was saying. And I begged my mom for a Korg Triton. And when I got that thing, I just got it in off memorization of what he was pushing. That's where I got it from.
Oh snap! So you probably was like, did you kind of like master the boards in a sense before you started mastering your rapping ability?
Yeah, I learned how to make beats first.
Okay.
I learned how to make beats. I learned how to sample. I learned how to uh, chop and all of that just off of sound. So I never could see the screen to know, okay, you can make a slice on a quarter note or eighth or a half bar or whatever. Didn't know nothing about that. Didn't know how to count bars or nothing. It was all organic. So um once I learned how to like chop up beats, that was pretty much it. And then from there, I still didn't know how to add like more music to me. It was my partner who I do beats with now. He gave me FL Studio, and he the one. Well, back then it's called it Fruity Loops. He gave me Fruity Loops, and I would chop beats up, and he'd be like, "Yo, the drums is soft," because back then, everybody wasn't beefing the drums up. Back then, it was trying to tuck the drums under. So he the one who showed me how to like beef the drums up and add bass lines and stuff to it, and um, bring the more music side of it, which I understood because, like I said, back to the music theory that my mom had me in. Yep.
That's dope.
Yeah. Because growing up in the South, they had us putting in speakers and woofers and
Hmm.
just to amplify. You want to feel the bass.
Yeah.
I want to be.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
want
Yeah.
to feel it all in my stomach.
Yeah. 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 And that's crazy because my cousins used to take my grandparents' house speakers out the house and put them in the car before
Yeah,
people was riding the
Yeah,
yeah,
subway.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh,
I
I remember
remember
that
that.
period. Oh
I remember
yeah,
that. Yeah, they go get the.
yeah. We wanted to feel the bass.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't enough to hear it.
Mm-hmm.
Um. So okay, you got you in your producer bag,
Yep.
right?
Mm-hmm.
What made you be like, okay, now I'm gonna try rapping?
Uh, just being in the studio every day and watching all my homeboys rap. It was like they was all. It's probably maybe like probably 8 or 9 of us. We was
Hmm.
all around the same age, but my best friends, his older brothers, had a rap group. So they name was
Uh-huh.
FOD, like Faces of Death. And everybody
Yeah.
had like that moniker thing coming out of Flint. It was like TDF, the Dayton family, who was like the biggest group that came out of here to me. Then Top Authority or TA.
oh, top
So
authority.
yeah, so I was around all that. So
Uh-huh.
I remember,
Blazing up my
yeah, yeah.
nigga.
So yeah, yeah. So I was at the
That's
corner
it.
store one day, and Ira Dorsey from Dayton family, he pulled up, and I didn't have no money to buy like a cassette or nothing. He was putting his new single out, and he just gave me the cassette, and he was like, "Here." I was like, "Thanks." And I was like, "Man, I want to be a rapper too." He like, "Yeah, you could do it one day." So he told me that, and that's what I thought.
Oh
So
snap.
yeah, going back to the studio every day. I used to watch my friends rap, and I was like they nice, but I thought I was more creative. I just didn't know how to put it in rhyme form. So first couple rhymes I wrote, it probably wasn't even 8 bars. It was terrible. probably didn't rhyme right, but I had my own style. Everybody else from Michigan at that time with Flint was trying to sound like MC Bree and Dayton Family and Top Authority. Me, because I grew up listening to more of the East Coast stuff, I wanted to storytell like Slick Rick and all of that stuff. So I didn't know how to put it in rhyme form. And my friend Banzi, he sat down with me one day and he was like, yo, this is what you got to do. This is the beat. And when he broke it down and made it seem like the same measures of like when you making instrumentals or whatever, I caught it. I was like, okay, this is what I got to do. And then I just started working on it every day to the point I just, like I said, it was like 9 of us. So we in there trying to make a 2-verse or a 3-verse song. So if you didn't write fast enough, if you couldn't get on a mic and say it, even if you had it wrote, if you couldn't say it, you weren't gonna make the song. And then because I knew it was gonna be 9 of them coming, they're gonna come, they're gonna be smoking, they're gonna be drinking, they're gonna be late. I'm there before the studio opened up. I'm out there with my book bag on, waiting to go in first. So I get time. I go in there, say my rap, it be trash, they kick me off the song, but I just go home and go again. Like, let me go to the point where I started eating people up on songs. Like, yeah.
Yo, so there was no future in your fronting. Now, just messing around. I'm just anyway, right? Mm-hmm. So like, you just mentioned a lot of legends, man, and you got to probably meet a couple. Have you met at least some of the ones that you mentioned, like a MC Bree before you passed? Did you meet people from different squads or like?
Yeah, I've only met so legendary from back home. I've only met like MC Bree, and I never met him like that. Like I would see him driving by in his Jeep or whatever. The Jeep he used to ride by, he really had that.
Yeah.
I actually been in the studio with Ira Dorsey. We supposed to be working on something, and I told him the story I just told you, and he said he remembered. But I got his number. We talk every now and then. I try not to bother him. Obviously, Faces of Death. I know them. They're my homeboy's brother. Let me see who else from Flint that I've met. I've been in the studio with Lyric the Queen.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she's dope. Who else from Flint that I've really been in the studio with? I want to say, I know I'm missing somebody now. I'm having brain fart.
Don't worry about it. I got a question for you.
Go ahead.
What other genres of music besides hip hop are you a fan of? And and was it your parents that made you those fans, or was it something you discovered on your own? Other genres of hip hop, other music besides hip hop.
I'm a Hitsville, USA baby, so my parents listen to Motown.
Oh, Motown,
yeah. Anything that came out of Hitsville, I know.
Damn.
I like the music from the 50s, the 60s, 70s. I like rock music.
Okay.
Like I like the Red and White Stripes.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? I like U2. I like Guns N' Roses. I like the old stuff. Yeah. I listen
the rock ballad.
Yeah, I listen to a little bit of country, not because I like what they saying so much. I take a lot of the kick drums and snare drums out of country records.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they be on them.
But don't you think country and hip hop?
It's the same.
She does.
They all saying the same thing. They all saying the same thing.
Country music. They just as soulful and just as I guess detailed and storytelling is hip hop. You know what I mean? It's kind of similar.
Listen, so people always criticize the rappers for talking about their environment, but if you listen to a blues record, bro, you know how many people get shot and stabbed on a blues record because that old lady out doing something? Hey, they done killed the dog though. You know what I'm saying?
They kill everybody in the phone. They kill everybody in everywhere. Yeah. That's what you know. They killing everybody with the shotgun.
With the shotgun, everybody get it. The goldfish got it. You know what I'm saying? So I don't. It's just not as extreme as like drill rap, I guess. But it's the same thing. It's the same thing. So I always tell people,
and I think it's because they had it behind pretty language that it doesn't seem as graphic.
Yeah.
Um,
I just tell people it all breaks down to bars and hooks. So music is, to me, I see music as bars and hooks. That's it. That's it.
yeah, I think we have a way of not sugarcoating stuff. So if we cut your head off, we're just gonna say we
Yeah.
cut your head off.
Yeah.
And you know, in the country song, uh, you might have just rolled underneath the 18-wheeler with the top down,
Yeah.
and you just visualize your head being cut off.
Yeah. Yeah.
They not
With
gonna
the
actually
18-wheeler,
tell
yeah,
you
with the,
your head is cut off till you cry.
Yeah. Yeah.
yo.
I always like I've always had people ask me like why it's like I take my personal music like certain because I rap a full spectrum. I rap stuff
Yeah.
about my life. I do the braggadocious stuff. I can do the gun bar stuff or whatever. But people always be like, "Well, why do you cuss in your music? Or why do you do that?" Me personally, I try not to cuss in my music if I don't have to. But if I'm cussing in my music or I'm saying something harsh, it's because I'm trying to paint what I'm trying to make you feel what I'm saying. So if somebody was if somebody came up and like smacked your kid, you're not gonna walk up to them in a polite voice and say, "Excuse me, sir, why did you do that to my offspring?" You gonna go in on them, right? You know what I'm saying?
He all polite
So
with it.
yeah. It's given that it's given what you
Yeah.
need for the it's giving the context for what you're doing at that moment. And I always say this: if you're reading a really really good book or you watching a really really good movie, action drama, it's got all of that in it because it needs it
Mm-hmm.
to progress the story. So don't limit my creativity because I'm saying it into a microphone. When you're watching it on film or reading it in a book, it's the same thing.
It's the same thing. It's art. It's
It's
just
the
in, it's
same
just
thing.
it's just in a different form. It's poetic. It's more
Yeah,
poetic, really. It's
yeah,
poems.
yeah.
It is why I don't care what anybody says. I will stand on this for the rest of my life. Eminem's best song he has ever done is Kim.
Yeah, I believe so too.
You said which one?
Kim,
Kim.
Kim.
when he's talking
Mm.
about is I don't know, his ex
Mm-hmm.
girl, whatever the hell he's whatever.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
It
yeah.
was it was so creative. It's something that gives you this feeling of dread every time you hear that song. It's any song that can make you feel it.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't care if it make you feel good, it make you feel bad, it make you feel happy, it make you feel sad. But when you listen to that song,
You can feel it.
you just have a visceral feeling,
Yeah,
and it I think it's one of his best works. Even if
yeah,
he doesn't do it anymore, I think it's one of the best works that he's ever done.
yeah. So that's kind of why when I do the vintage music, I try to give people that part of my life and stuff like that. But I'm gonna top that one later on in this year. I have a album I got coming out called The Book of Rain. And I'm really gonna dive into like my
Mm.
early years, and it was
Mhm.
definitely inspired by Royce the 5'9", whose real name is Ryan Montgomery. His album's called
Mhm.
The Book of Ryan, so it's definitely inspired by that. But
Yeah.
me and my best friend just got into a conversation earlier when 50 Cent first came out,
Yeah.
and I had never heard an artist put their thoughts to pad, to microphone, to beat the way he did when he made that song Heat.
Oh
Mhm.
yeah,
Yo, I
Yeah.
had
yeah.
we heard people get you know get violent on music,
Yeah.
but when he said that hook on that record and he was going, that was something different. Like that was
Yeah, I
that
don't
was
care what nobody say. 50 Cent is the king of hooks.
his his
And you just got to give him his credit, man. What credit is due. Speaking of like albums and great albums, like we're talking about 50, we're talking about M, we're talking about you. like what albums do you listen on a yearly basis? What like you talked about Motown earlier? Do you listen to certain albums every year? Like something like an Illmatic or something like that. Give us some examples of albums you always listen to, either if it's hip hop,
Okay,
R&B, Motown, whatever.
Okay, so I always listen to Jay-Z's Blueprint.
The first
Always.
one?
The first one with Takeover and all that on it. I listen to that all the time. I listen to DMX, It's Dark and Hell is Hot all the time. I also listen to DMX and then there was X all the time. I'm a big Mobb Deep fan. I listen to their whole entire catalog. Mobb Deep is my favorite duo. They just nobody. They and we're gonna get to that because we're gonna talk about Kalishnikov later.
Listen, so if they ain't your number one, they top five.
Mobb Deep provide this sound and music that's missing. I tried to capture that with me and Lil Drugstore with Kalishnikov, but they provide this sound that's missing in music. I always listen to the Locks. We Are the Streets. Who else do I listen to all the time? That I listen to 50 Cent, Get Rich or Die Trying. I listen to Young Jeezy because I'm in the gym, so I have stuff I listen to in the gym. So I listen to Jeezy, Thug Motivation 101 all the time.
I knew it was gonna be that one.
All the time. Listen, that was another one. And quick story about that one.
Yeah,
my little brothers had put me up on him, right? I hadn't heard him. Like I heard the buzz about when he was coming, but I hadn't heard his music yet. So when it came out, I just went and bought the album. Went and got it, put it in my car. I had the 15s beating. First track come on. I'm listening to it, and I'm like, I don't get it. Second track come on. I'm like, I don't get it. I'm pulling up in front of the house. By this time, gangster music is getting ready to come on. When that track came on, I got it. I stopped the CD, went back to track number 1. Then it clicked in. I said, oh, he ain't trying to be lyrical. He trying to let you know what he actually doing. Then I got it. And Jeezy was like, yeah. Then I was just addicted to Jeezy's music.
You're like, wait a minute. He's telling us his real story. Wait. His autobiography or something.
Yeah, because you gotta think, I'm coming from Wu-Tang. They got all these metaphors, and you got Ghostface doing his thing and Supreme Clientele. I listen to Supreme Clientele and Cuban Links all the time. So I'm listening to that stuff. And then here comes Jeezy with this. Like, what did he say? I hit the kitchen lights. It was cockroaches everywhere. Now I hit the kitchen lights. Now it's marble floors everywhere. When he said that, light blew off in my head. Like, he ain't trying to be lyrical. He giving you this real substance.
Yeah, it's kind of why I always go back to Scarface.
Oh, which one?
I was about to say you got to Scarface.
All of
them.
The
Diary.
His whole,
I love the
Diary.
Whole catalog.
His whole catalog.
You never miss. You never miss. When he's solo, never miss.
Yeah, it's just real. All just through his whole catalog. Him and UGK really defines the South.
Yeah.
They define Texas.
It was a stint when all I was listening to was like UGK, 8 Ball, and MJG, Tila, and
Goody Mob,
Mr. Mike, 3-6 Mafia. I love 3-6 Mafia's music.
Yeah.
Oh, me too.
Listen.
Oh yeah, I'm an underground heavy on that one.
And I don't know how it was out there in Flint. If you wanted to start a fight, if you played, I bet you won't hit a motherfucker, whatever that shit was. I bet you won't push a motherfucker. You play that.
Yeah.
If you play the Master P song,
which one?
Fuck the mother niggas. Him and
yeah.
Listen.
Yo,
it was definitely about to be a fight in the club.
Yeah. For us, it was I go hard in the motherfucking paint, nickel. Leave you stinking, nickel. What
Oh
the
yeah,
fuck
yeah,
you thinking, nickel?
yeah. That Waka,
And
that
when
Waka record
Waka
was crazy.
Flocka come on, all hell break loose in the club.
Now I knew about. Now at this time, I'm into music heavy and I'm traveling, so I'm down in Atlanta. I
Mm-hmm.
knew about Waka Flocka about a year before everybody else knew about it. And I knew
Yeah.
about Trinidad James about a year to 8 months before everybody else knew about him. So my boy Jack, who is he do a lot of engineering for 2 Chains and stuff like that. Jack Brown, shout out to Jack. He told me, he was like, "Yo, dude about to pop named Waka Flocka." I said, "Waka what?" He was like, "His name Waka Flocka." I was like, "Man, I don't know about the name, but let me hear the music." We in the studio and we got some of the music that's done leaked out from the studio.
Mm-hmm.
And I heard that record. I said, "Yeah, oh, let's do it." That's what I heard first. I said,
Oh,
"Yeah, this one out of here. This is
Yeah.
this one gone." And as soon as it came out, it was out.
speaking of
Yeah.
traveling, how's the passport game? Have you traveled outside the United States yet? Or
Nah. I just applied for my passport or whatever. I
nice.
got a couple things on I got a couple things shows lined up that I need to do. Yeah,
What's your
Yo,
dream destination to perform in?
to perform.
Anywhere in
Um,
the world.
I don't know about to perform, but I want to go to Egypt. I want to go to Dubai and Hawaii. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, but to
get,
perform,
get those stamps.
oh man, you got some. You could do some stuff over in Amsterdam.
Yeah,
Um,
Amsterdam's I heard it's fun. A lot of rappers talk about
Mm-hmm.
Amsterdam, Canada,
yeah,
London, Europe.
yeah.
France.
It's
Yeah, France.
they get big. Japan, they get busy for hip hop artists. You can make
Yeah.
some serious
And they be
money.
knowing all the lyrics and don't speak
They
English.
do. I sell more records on some real stuff. I sell more records in Germany and Japan than I do in US.
Yeah.
I don't doubt you because everybody we interview could be a producer, could be a janitor. They be like, yeah, I mop more better, and you know what I'm saying. It's just everything's more, commended outside of the United States, man.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Now the 50th year hip hop's coming up, man. This year, August 11th. Do you have anything planned? You got music coming out for anything you can tell us or?
um, I don't know how far I can go into it, but I just recently linked up with an artist named City the Great.
Okay.
He's from New York, and he's connected to he's actually special ed's artist.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Okay,
Oh,
so and that was another artist that I was super big on.
Damn it. Damn it.
Yeah, my sister
Yep.
was gonna marry him
Yeah.
in her head.
Okay.
Of course.
So
Everybody in Boston, all the chicks in Boston married him too.
yeah, I used to
Hell
rap as
outta here.
rap. I used to rap as rap talent shows. Like that's me.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I got it made.
I was running around still in his bars. But the crazy thing is like meeting City the Great now, like some of the legends know who I am. Like so Special Ed know who I am. Cool Rockski from the Fat Boys know who I am.
Oh.
LL Cool J know who I am. So that's a
Oh.
crazy thing coming through that. So they doing something for the 50th anniversary, and they're working on something big. And
Yeah, I know they
I
are.
know that I'm a part of it. And City, I know when you see this, I haven't done the record yet. I'm gonna do the record.
Get on it.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the record. Yeah. Man,
So, up until this point in your life,
yeah.
who has been three people who have been the biggest influence to get you to where you are now?
You mean like music wise, like
Life.
Oh, I got
Just music, your life, anything that's a part of that.
I got three. I got three shorties in there. So they're in the next room over.
All right then.
Some of the kids, huh?
Yeah.
You like ODB. The kids, for the kids, baby.
Yeah.
ODB had to been the funnest part of hip hop.
Oh.
when we
Yo,
were growing up.
that dude was wild.
We couldn't believe. I was like, did he just show a food stamp card on national TV?
Yeah,
He busted himself. It's
yeah.
crazy.
Not the food, the actual stamp books. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
okay, yeah.
Yeah, he did.
They hadn't went to EBT yet. It was the actual
The
food
books,
stamp.
yeah. Rain. So
I'm like,
speaking of your your the people that keep you going, keep you ticking, man, in the other room, man. What are you doing for them? Are you teaching them about family wealth? And being independent, making additional money, being happy, they're doing what you do. What
I
values are you instilling on your kids?
I try to. My son think I'm. They think I'm super famous because when I go out, somebody's always coming up to me, talking to me, or so if somebody asks me for like an autograph or anything like that, I try to do it on the slide. They be like, "You know him?" I be like, "Nah, I don't know him." They always think like everybody know me. They think I'm like the coolest person. Um, and when I do like merch drops, I basically turn the living room into a warehouse. So I
Okay.
got all these hoodies and sweaters and t-shirts and stuff.
mhm.
I'm folding up and packaging and signing and putting CDs in it and stuffing bags. And I'm going out there carrying boxes and going to UPS and to the post office. And they like, this is cool. I just tell them just do whatever make you happy. Don't worry about the money. I mean, you got to worry about the money to some point because
Extent,
you
yeah.
got to make sure you got a roof over your head and you eat. But find something that make you happy, like, and that's it.
So, um, when you think about the way that you parent,
Hmm.
what are some of the good things that you took from your parents raising you, and what are some of the bad things that you made sure you didn't repeat?
It's a good question. I like I said, I, I grew up. I grew up in my mom's house, but my I really said my grandmother raised me.
Mm-hmm.
So my grandmother was just easy going. So and my dad, so that's my dad's mom. So I'm super laid back, super laid back for the most part. But I do got a bad temper, so I try not to let my temper go. You know, um.
Feel
So I
you.
yeah, I would say just from like my mom and my grandparents and everybody, um, just being social, being trying to be I don't know how to explain it. Just being try to create like a warm environment so everybody can be who they are. But I don't know if I really answered the question, but
No,
that's
but
I don't know.
well, yeah,
Yeah.
you know. Yeah, Jeff, you got a second? You
All right.
going off that one? Because I got some on family too.
Go ahead.
So like how deep do you know your family? Like did you do the ancestry.com? Did you talk to like your grandmother? Did she give you
Yeah.
like the 411 on a lot of your past and why
Hmm.
you might be who you are? You know what I mean?
Um,
You do any research on your family?
I know where we come from. Like, so my grandparents are French Canadian, so they come from up that way, and then the rest of us was straight off the boat.
Straight out the
down
boat.
south, down
Yeah,
south. So yeah,
yeah, man.
I do know that part. Um, most of my family, man, they was a lot of them live out in like Brooklyn, New York, and all that. Like, so they are like hustlers and stuff, man. Own stores and always entrepreneurs, most of them. So I guess it's where I get that spirit in me, where I don't want to work for nobody. I want to do it all myself. Harder road, but I
Oh,
like it.
of course, it's independent. It's gonna be a harder road.
Hmm.
Now, do you got any knowledgeable books that you want to recommend to us or anybody like or anything that's encouraged you and getting you motivated in literature?
Let me see. I got a book over there on the shelf right now.
You reading something now?
The book I'm reading right now is the book of I'm reading the book of Enoch right now.
Oh, Enoch. Okay,
Yeah,
heard about that book.
yeah. Uh, I think one of my favorite books I read lately, a couple years ago, is Sun Tzu Art of War.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and my mind be on some other stuff. I ordered a book from a guy named Billy Carson. It was called Compendium of the Emerald Tablets. So
do you know what that's gonna be about? Because if I know how your mind. I listen to your lyrics. I listen to your bars.
I know. Yeah, I know.
So you know
about.
what I'm saying? Like I'm tapped in.
Yeah.
But where's this book going? This is gonna broaden the mind frame a little bit more, huh?
Yeah. So you heard me say I want to go to Egypt, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to go see it. I want to go see what's built. I want to see it.
Oh, I gotta see the pyramid too. I gotta see it.
I
gotta touch it. I don't know if you can
touch it. I
touch
was just about to say I want to touch it.
I don't know if you can touch it. I just want to touch. Get some power from it or so. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You definitely gotta touch it. Like I want to touch them. I want to see the Sphinx. I want to just want to go see what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Try to figure out where we come from, our creation story.
I don't blame you.
Because I don't think they're giving us all the truth.
Of course not.
You don't have to take it. You know they not.
No, they burying it. If they could have buried the pyramids, they would have buried the pyramids.
Look,
they don't even give themselves the truth.
I'm saying it that way to be politically correct. But you know what I'm saying?
No, I'm in Texas. You don't have to be politically correct. Greg Abbott.
Yeah, boss, you don't have to do that either, man.
Yeah. You don't have to be politically correct here.
Yeah, they're not giving us the truth. So I'm a big truth seeker. So I'm always searching.
So you can tell people are good liars, and besides that, how important is trust to you?
It's very important. You got to be able to trust the people you're around, especially in the environment that we move in this business that we're in. If you can't trust your circle, because it's dangerous. What they say, rapper is like one of the most dangerous jobs out there. I mean, because you're going into different clubs, you're going to different cities, and everybody know who you are before you get there, but you don't know. So you might have somebody who just don't like you.
Facts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And when they do something to you, you don't even know it.
Nope.
You know what I'm saying? So you guys keep your guard up.
Nope.
So one of my favorite questions to ask is, if you had a skill, which one of your skills, if you had to get rid of one, which one would you least like to give up?
None of them.
I gotta pick one.
No, you broke your question. You can't break your question.
I can't because everything that I'm super skilled at makes me. So if I take any piece of that, I wouldn't be able to function.
No, that's dope because listen, you should be able to break questions. The questions are questions, but he still answered it. I like that. Man. What artists do you recommend for us, man? We review a lot of music. We follow you. Are there artists that we should be looking towards or looking to that you want to recommend?
Like underground or
could be anybody. It might be somebody that's not even in spectrum.
Let me see. My guys out of Detroit, they about to drop some new music on the 23rd of February. Mud Talk. So they coming out. They from Detroit. We done a lot of music together. I think everybody who I really work with, you guys know.
Okay.
And you put me on. What's my man Taj Malik? You put me on him, and we end up doing some. music.
Yeah. I put SB on Taj Malik too. Yeah, that's a dope MC. Yeah. I try to connect people, but my whole thing is, man, SP is we try to listen to the best of the best, and if we can connect them, and that's gonna make more quality good music. Y'all made a single, right? You and Taj Malik did a single, right?
Yeah,
it was dope. It was I don't even know if you heard it.
It hasn't come out yet, but yeah,
it's dope. It's dope as hell.
So that record was one of the hardest ones. Look, he sent me a couple joints, and I didn't know what to do with it. I called you that day. I was like, "Yo, he sent me these joints. I do not even know what to do with it." I was talking to you. Was like, "Man, just do you." So
I heard it.
I was like, you know what? I called him. I was like, "Yo, I'm about to go to the studio. Send me the tracks." When I got to the studio, I had some. I do this all the time. I had music physically wrote down. Threw that out. Turn the mic on. Let's go. I did it like that, and
Nice.
yeah. And then I gave him the extra long verse because, like I said, I made him wait on it.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
I
yeah,
usually
yeah.
have a quick turnaround time. He had to wait, and I was like, I'll just give you the long verse or whatever because you had to
No,
wait.
dude,
So,
I
he tore through it.
I
Tore.
yeah,
I like production that makes you get out of your comfort zone.
yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't even the
That's
production.
that now that's the song that I'm really interested in hearing
It wasn't the
because it was a struggle for you. And
yeah,
that's
but it wasn't the production. I thought Taj Malik did a super dope job at smoking the record. He said everything that could possibly be said. I didn't know how to approach it to not. I had to compliment what he did, so I had to think
mhm,
outside the box, and
That's
that's
honest as an MC. A lot of MCs
yeah,
wouldn't say that.
yeah.
yeah. I thought he did it. I thought the record was done well. I was like, bro, you just put a hook on this and wrap this up. This done. But he's like, no, I really want you on it. So I was like, all right.
I love it. I love it. I
And
love making
then
That's
music.
dope.
and then you was like, you said it sounded like we have been rapping together for years.
Yo, SP, when you hear this single, you're gonna be like, they about to do an album? What's going on? Did it, hey, brothers? Like, you know, like it's weird. It's just a weird comment. It's dope. It's dope.
Mm-hmm.
So um let's promote what you got coming up. Give them your social media.
Yeah, man. Let's go.
Okay. So the last project I did was a joint project with me and Lil Drugstore, my Detroit
Drugstore.
brother. That's called Kalishnikov. If anybody know what a Kalishnikov is, it's a that's the maker of the AK-47, Mikhail Kalishnikov. So it's just a quick 5-track EP, basically
Mhm.
scored. It sounded like a movie, basically, as soon as it come on. Real boom bap, lo-fi samples. And I know you don't like the joints with no drums on it, but I did them with no drums.
Oh, you know, SVB, she said every
Yeah,
goddamn podcast.
yeah. I know you don't like those. So that came out. That came out a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
My next joint coming out is a collab EP with it ain't even EP. It's a LP at this point.
Mm.
With City the Great. That's called Guillotine, and that's exactly what it is. We going at the neck. It's just lyrical warfare back and forth, not only between us and our competition in the industry, but back and forth between each other. And if you interview us about that, he can attest how fast I make records. He told me he got to the point where he stopped turning his equipment off. He was seeing me a joint and be like, he'll get it to me tomorrow. I'd be like, yo, go check your email.
Damn.
Yeah, bro, I just sent it to you. It's done. So that's next. I'm gonna put out Vintage 4. Finally, that's been done for a little bit, but I had to make sure sonically it was right. I always try to give people my best foot forward, or the best that I could give you at that time. So I love the Vintage series, so I wanted to hold that to a certain standard. After that, this year we're gonna do Quill 3.
The trilogy.
Yeah.
Quill 3, dog.
Quill 3. And that's it.
And where can everybody where can they get your music, reach out to you?
If they can see my IG tag at Rein_is_AMI, REIN_IZ_AMI, and just click the link in my bio. It's a hyperlink, but my music is in all digital stores, and then I do physical drops all the time too. Vintage 4 is gonna come out physical.
Oh, okay.
And then Quill 3, I'm gonna package 1, 2, and 3 up as a physical purchase too.
Dope.
Yeah.
That's
So
gonna be nice package right there.
Yeah. Yeah.
thank
And
you
then,
so much for coming on. I've
yeah,
been looking
appreciate you.
forward to
Appreciate
this for a while.
She has. She was like, "Yo, he
I
ain't
think
come
we've
on
been
again. I gotta get him on."
you. Yeah, appreciate you.
like
Appreciate you.
this is from November. I was like, come on, that we gotta. I want to talk to
Yeah.
him because I've been in the lives. I've heard y'all go back and forth. I've listened to your music,
Mm-hmm.
but you just sounded like a interesting, nice guy, and you and
Thank you.
family minded. And I
Yeah.
just really wanted to talk to you to see if you were who I was picturing in my head, and
Mm-hmm.
you've exceeded that. So thank you so much
Appreciate
for coming on.
Appreciate you. Appreciate you.
100%, man. I like to thank you too, man. Me and you go not we go way back like fish grease, but not we never met. We never met in person,
No, we
but
met. We met.
during the if you think about it, during this pandemic, I've met a lot of artists, via phone or social media, and I remain in friends, and we actually have contacts, and we really have grown man conversations. So I like to appreciate you as a friend, man, and a scholar, and an equal. You know what I'm saying? And I support you 100%, man. And
Yeah,
I love your music.
I always see you say something about me on your podcast.
Got
And
to.
YouTube. Yeah. Appreciate
So
y'all, man.
if anybody wants to get in touch with Rein, I'm gonna put all of his information in the description. Like, comment, and subscribe.
Yeah.
And this is the formula, and we out. Peace.
All right. Peace.
Peace.